during Prohibition. Explore your world on the Discovery Channel.
Safari, Saturdays at 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
You see everything in black and white, not black and white. Right or wrong?
Paramount Pictures presents.
If I go down,
Hold on.
you're going with me.
Harrison Ford in the summer's most explosive thriller.
Watch your back, Jack.
I will not let you dishonor their memories by pretending you had nothing to do with it.
How dare you bark at me? I am the President of the United States.
How dare you, sir?
Clear and Present Danger. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Who's smarter? This guy went to Sears Brand Central for a new washer and dryer. This guy went fishing. Right. Smart people go to Sears. Through August 6th, get our large capacity Sears washer for only $219. And our matching dryer, only $199. Save $140 on the pair, our lowest price ever. Once more, who's smarter? This guy went to Sears, and this woman is a brain surgeon. It's too close to call.
Dare to get this close. With the Discovery Channel's You View It, You Do It sweepstakes. Win a Discovery Adventure for two, $10,000, and a Donzi 152 jet boat. Plus, a year's supply of Snapple. To enter, watch Shark Doctors, Saturday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on the Discovery Channel, and qualify to win an adventure based on that program. Explore your world with the Discovery Channel's You View It, You Do It sweepstakes.
Well, when the President does it, that means that it is not illegal.
On the Discovery Channel.
The White House doesn't, as I understand it, have anything to come clean about.
Is mainlined right back to the President.
All those who have been arrested were going to remain silent.
I have in my head knowledge which will bring down the President of the United States.
20 years later, all the President's men are talking. Watergate, Sunday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on the Discovery Channel.
At the Discovery Channel, we go to extraordinary lengths to tell extraordinary stories. Stories that take you off the beaten path. So if we see it, you see it. The Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Next, overfishing threatens sharks with extinction on Shark Week 94. Then, Crime Inc. profiles the mafia. And experience nightfall in a rainforest on Wildlife Chronicles, coming up on the Discovery Channel.
For the Discovery Channel, the author of Jaws and the new thriller White Shark, Peter Benchley.
Welcome back to Shark Week 94. Human beings have long claimed dominance over the animal world, and certainly with modern technology, humans have the ultimate weapon of dominance, the power to extinguish entire species. But put a lone human being in the water with the apex predator, and the tables quickly turn. In the sea, we are weak and alien creatures when compared to that marvel of evolutionary perfection, the shark. Our vulnerability has inspired growing fear and questioning about the existence of sharks. Are those fears founded? We'll find out now as Shark Week 94 continues on the Discovery Channel.
From the gruesome horror of the attack to the state-of-the-art shark repellent, from the terrifying jaws of the great white to the miraculous discovery of the megamouth, Join us as we unravel the mysteries of these magnificent silent savages. The first step on our shark journey is to examine the roots of our fears. The shark's reputation is not based on fantasy. The hard, cold fact is that every year sharks do attack and kill scores of people worldwide. In recent years, perhaps nothing has gained more prominence in the human psyche than the thought of a shark attack, of being torn apart and eaten alive. People who have never seen the ocean, who know nothing of the sea, can visualize the horror of a shark attack. It is more terrifying than the thought of a car accident or falling victim to a violent crime. Researchers like Ralph Collier of the Shark Research Committee are compiling facts about shark encounters.
If we examine a number of cases of white shark attacks from California, they will give us some insights into the different manners and attitudes which the sharks exhibit when they attack. In the case of Rodney Orr, he has the distinction of being, to the best of our knowledge, the only human being who has ever been attacked twice by a white shark. The attack locations were almost identical, except that the attacks were separated by 29 years.
The following accounts are based on the victim's recollections.
Well, the first attack was, I was really surprised because when I realized it was a shark, that's what scared me. Then I knew that when I looked back at it, it was coming in from the right side. When I first looked at it, it didn't dawn on me. Then when it did dawn on me, then I kind of went into fright. And I thought, no, it's not going to bite me, it's just going to chase me around. Well, when it came in and I looked on my left side, it was trying to bite me, and its mouth opened up, and all I could see was the teeth, and its jaws actually kind of came out of its mouth. And I put my hands on the side of its head and pushed off, but I was a little late. It bit me on the side. I was trying to get behind a rock that was in front of me, and it actually flipped me over its head, and what was going through my mind was just to get away. And I just couldn't believe it was happening. That was the first shark I ever saw underwater, and it had me. That day, we taped up my suit. We put some tape on me and taped up my suit, and I went back in the water. It bothered me, but it didn't preclude me from diving. I still went back, and I've dove all these years.
Growing to upwards of 20 feet and weighing several thousand pounds, the great white shark is truly an awesome creature to behold. It lives primarily in solitude and feeds on large sea creatures such as sea lions. Its powerful and destructive capabilities are undeniable. But does it just patrol waters in search of a victim? There have been several instances of attack on humans thought to be cases of mistaken identity, where the man was mistaken for one of the shark's natural prey. In other cases, the sharks might have just been curious, a situation of bite first, ask questions later. There is no proof that the shark deliberately hunts human prey, although that was the last thing on Rodney Orr's mind the second time he was attacked.
I got my gun out of my board, the 2-band gun. I loaded it, got off my board on the right side. I was laying on the water, just hyperventilating, getting ready to go down, when the shark came in and grabbed me. It just came in and it was on me just like that. It didn't sound like the garage door closing. It just slammed onto my head. The teeth went into my face and in the back of my neck, and all I heard was the teeth grate on the bone. When the shark grabbed me, he actually buried his teeth into my cheekbone right here, down right across my eyes. One tooth went through my nose, and it went in, and I had blood coming out of both nostrils. But he buried his teeth right into my hair. That was from the bottom teeth. The top teeth were over my head, and they came in an angle like this, and this much of my head was actually stuck in his mouth. He picked me up out of the water. When the water drained out of the mouth, I could see the water was down here, and he was racing to the south with me. He had me up out of the water by the neck. And how I got away and why he didn't bite my head off, I don't know.
Even after 2 attacks, Rodney Orr still prefers diving as his form of recreation, despite the dangers that lurk in the sea. There is a strong correlation between the supply of natural food for the shark and the probability of an attack. In California, a large percentage of attacks on humans have occurred in the chilling northern waters, where there is a plentiful supply of seals and sea lions.
In 1988, surfer Carl LaFazio was struck by a white shark in Northern California. In fact, to the best of our knowledge, it is the only time that a unprovoked white shark attack on a human being has ever been filmed. LaFazio had worked his way out from the beach to an area just south of a large rock and was surfing with a companion and had positioned himself and was waiting for a wave. And he started to grab a wave that was coming and decided not to. The wave, he rode up over the top of the wave and it crested in front of him. And as the wave rolled down, a shark rose up, and the shark then swiftly moved forward, grabbed the board and Carl's left leg, held him for a few seconds, pushed him through the water as he kicked its tail back and forth a few times, released him and swam off. This, believe it or not, is a typical attack by a white shark on a surfer, not just in California, worldwide.
Despite the awesome destruction caused by the bite of a great white shark, in actuality, the attacks are rarely fatal. In many cases, the sharks might simply be investigating rather than making an aggressive attack.
An interesting case that might support the hypothesis that white sharks attack human beings for reasons other than feeding primarily would be the case of John Holcomb, who was bitten in the 70s at the Farallon Islands up near San Francisco. He was moving quickly over the bottom, scouring for abalone. He was grabbed quickly and suddenly on the right arm and shaken vigorously for about 3 to 5 seconds. The shark released him, but then began bumping him in the chest with its nose. After 3 or 4 times of doing this, the shark backed up, kind of, and slowly turned to swim off. In order to keep the shark away, Holcomb grabbed his abalone iron that had drifted to the bottom, picked it up in his left hand, and struck the shark on the side as it swam past him. The shark did a complete circle, 360, came back and grabbed John on the left arm. It took him for another 3 to 5 seconds and released him, backed up, and then stopped about 2 or 3 feet away from him and simply stared at him and waited for him to make the next move. John's next move was to slowly retreat back away from the shark towards his boat, at which point the shark slowly turned and swam off. Some researchers also believe white sharks might be territorial, which means that they would go into a specific area for a specific reason, whether it be mating or feeding or pupping, and they would stake out a little territory. On July 19th of 1975, commercial abalone diver Gary Johnson was bitten on a swim fin. 4 days later, at the same exact location, abalone sport scuba diver Robert Rebstock was attacked by a shark that was described as about 17 feet in length. And probably, to the best of our knowledge, was the same shark that had attacked Gary Johnson. Rebstock entered the water and was treading water alongside his boat while his companions handed some equipment to him when he was struck violently from below, lifted about 4 to 6 feet out of the water in the mouth of the shark, released in midair, and the shark re-entered the water and was not seen again. Rob was pulled into the boat and sustained several punctures to his lower left leg.
The shark almost always releases its human victim after the initial attack, perhaps realizing man is not its normal prey. This momentary reprieve allows many victims precious time to reach safety.
The International Shark Attack File is a compendium of all known shark attacks worldwide, and it's housed at the Florida Museum of Natural History at the University of Florida. The file works with a network of scientists worldwide who report attacks in their areas and forward them to myself where they're integrated into a computer network. And utilizing this computer network, we're able to synthesize information on shark attacks and get to some of the factors that are involved, both from the perspective of the shark as well as the attack victim. Florida leads North America in the number of shark attacks. We have 10 to 15 shark attacks each year in Florida alone. And of course, this is related in large part to the fact that not only are there sharks in Florida, but there's lots of people. Florida is a tourist mecca of North America. We have 35 million tourists a year come to Florida, and so we have lots and lots of people in the water.
When we consider the millions of human hours spent in the ocean each year, then compare the annual number of shark attacks, the possibility of an attack is about 1 in 300 million. Since there are no guarantees, the only absolute way to avoid confronting a shark is to stay on dry land.
Our fear of sharks is grounded as much in fantasy as in reality. But the fact is, sharks do attack humans. When we return, find out how humans are struggling to find ways to protect themselves as Shark Week 94 continues on the Discovery Channel.
From bootleg whiskey to Vegas cash, from the labor unions to cocaine traffic, step into the inner circle and witness the workings of Crime, Inc. Tonight at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
How to speak Australian. Salad. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Right way! That's the only way we do it here. With the right Goodyear tire. No matter what you drive. Goodyear trained, ASC certified. You want it right? You bring it here. Right now!
Sale time is the right time at Goodyear. Buy one Monroe shop and save 50% on the second. Save big on other Goodyear auto services, too.
So get it right.
Right way, right here, right now.
With Goodyear certified auto service.
Tell me there's a better pain reliever because it works all day. I'm interested. Tell me it's Tylenol. I'm there.
Introducing new Tylenol Extended Relief. For tough headaches and body aches, its unique bi-layer system has more medicine than ever, so it relieves pain up to twice as long as before.
I put in a lot of hours out here. Now my pain reliever does too. For me, it's the best Tylenol ever.
New Tylenol Extended Relief, because a full day's work deserves a full day's relief.
To some, these look like mere engine parts, but to us, they're works of art. Together, they form a remarkable engine that gives the new Nissan Maxima both more horsepower and 15% better fuel efficiency than a Lexus ES300. You would expect a high-powered car to guzzle gasoline. Now there's one that sips it. The new Maxima from Nissan.
How to speak Australian. Tourist. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
On the Discovery Channel.
20 years later, history made on television will be made again. Watergate, Sunday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on the Discovery Channel.
Become a part of the magic at Magical Movement Studio Dance.
Whiskey to Vegas cash, from the labor unions to cocaine traffic. Step into the inner circle and witness the workings of Crime, Inc. Tonight at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, only on the Discovery Channel.
How to speak Australian. Salad. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Right way! That's the only way we do it here. With the right Goodyear tire. No matter what you drive. Goodyear trained, ASC certified. You want it right? You bring it here. Right now!
Sale time is the right time at Goodyear. Buy one Monroe shop and save 50% on the second. Save big on other Goodyear auto services, too.
So get it right.
Right way, right here, right now.
With Goodyear certified auto service.
Tell me there's a better pain reliever because it works all day. I'm interested. Tell me it's Tylenol. I'm there.
Introducing new Tylenol Extended Relief. For tough headaches and body aches, its unique bilayer system has more medicine than ever, so it relieves pain up to twice as long as before.
I put in a lot of hours out here. Now my pain reliever does too. For me, it's the best Tylenol ever.
New Tylenol Extended Relief, because a full day's work deserves a full day's relief.
To some, these look like mere engine parts, but to us, they're works of art. Together, they form a remarkable engine that gives the new Nissan Maxima both more horsepower and 15% better fuel efficiency than a Lexus ES300. You would expect a high-powered car to guzzle gasoline. Now there's one that sips it. The new Maxima from Nissan.
How to speak Australian. Tourist. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
On the Discovery Channel. 20 years later, history made on television will be made again. Watergate, Sunday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on the Discovery Channel.
Become a part of the magic at Magical Movements Studio of Dance in Woolpit. At Magical Movements, our trained staff will show you the fun and excitement of learning tap, jazz, and ballet. At Magical Movements, have your little ones join in our Magical Toddler Discover Dance class, where education has never been so much fun. From tots to adults, Magical Movements has the program for you. Magical Movements Studio of Dance, 1457 Meriden Road, Midpoint Plaza, Woolpit, 879-7141.
Do your carpets need cleaning? Or maybe what you'd like is a whole new look? Then it's time you came to see the brand new showroom at Parenti's Carpet Cleaning and Floor Covering of Wolcott. They have the best prices you'll find for vinyl and carpet floor coverings and for carpet and upholstery cleaning.
Call today for professional carpet and upholstery cleaning at affordable prices. Parenti's, a certified firm with certified...
We now return to Shark Week on the Discovery Channel.
Well, the first serious work on shark repellents occurred during the early stages of World War II. When you have pilots and sailors fighting battles in a tropical sea filled with sharks, you've got a morale problem. So the Navy, recognizing this, went to work on trying to produce some type of material that would protect military personnel from shark bite. Whether it worked or not, it did wonders for the Navy because they put this on their life vest and it said Shark Chaser, and the government gave it to them, so it must chase sharks.
An alternative approach to Shark Chaser was the Johnson Shark Screen. The Shark Screen was designed to disguise the shape of the victim and contain any shark-attracting odors like blood within the bag. One bizarre concept was to repel sharks by means of electrical shock. An impractical science fiction-like device was strapped to the diver. Research today has taken a different approach than methods of the past. Shark scientists have discovered that perhaps the best repellents are based on what nature has provided. Dr. Eugenie Clark, a pioneer in undersea research, first recognized that a little fish found in the Red Sea, the Moses sole, secretes a substance that appeared to be a naturally occurring shark repellent. Researchers have synthesized a chemical with similar properties and are marketing this synthetic repellent for use by the general public to ward off a shark attack. Dr. Donald Nelson is another pioneer in this innovative new process.
These are air-powered squirt guns that we use for testing the effectiveness of the chemical repellents.
The chemical to be tested is loaded into the holding chamber of the squirt gun. The chemicals are measured precisely to ensure accuracy of each test. Next, the gun is pressurized with air, which is used to deliver the dosage to the shark. After final adjustments are made, the tests are ready to begin.
And then we have to purge the gun so the liquid is at the exact level that we use for the test. Bring it down to about 1/4 of a liter. We originally designed these guns as part of a Navy-supported project to test this particular chemical. It's a type of surfactant.
Some of the chemicals being evaluated are in everyday detergents found in most households. For example, the ones being used in these tests are similar to those used in shampoos. With their test apparatus loaded, the divers enter the water and approach the sharks that have been attracted to the bait containers. The challenge facing the researchers is to repel the sharks while avoiding the bite. A quick blast of the chemical is all it takes.
This is the actual situation where a diver might have to use some sort of product that would be developed based on this type of principle. This, of course, is not a marketable product. This is a piece of test equipment. But it's possible that a chemically enhanced shark billy or some sort of squirt applicator could be quite effective in a situation where a person in the water has to face a shark at close range.
The unique product that these intrepid researchers are developing is like an underwater mace. It will protect people in the water, yet cause no permanent harm to the sharks or the environment.
You can see from the tip of the applicator here that this thing has been bitten many times by sharks during the various tests on different species, mainly blue sharks, but also hammerheads and a couple of cases the great white shark. So,
in a series of related experiments, Dr. Sonny Gruber was able to isolate certain properties of the Moses sole toxin. This led to the next step, to produce a marketable shark repellent.
Well, my work on the Moses sole fish demonstrated that they do emit a toxic material. This material is not only poisonous to sharks, but to other fishes like barracudas and moray eels as well.
Based on Dr. Gruber's research findings, ETR Corporation has now synthesized an environmentally safe material that mimics the repellent characteristics of the chemical produced by the Moses sole and has no lasting harmful effects on the shark. When applied properly, ETR's shark repellent attacks the gill membranes of the shark, producing a reaction much like mace. This remarkable discovery has proven effective on hundreds of sharks from a variety of species, including the great white. In each and every situation, the shark was rapidly and completely repelled upon application of the repellent.
Well, the interesting thing is that the ETR shark repellent neither affects the environment, that is, it's completely and rapidly biodegradable, nor does it affect people. Since people don't have gills, there's no effect at all.
The researchers have now adapted their experimental results to the commercial market. They have developed a product that, for the first time, gives boaters, divers, and other persons exposed to the hazards of the sea a non-lethal means of protection from shark attack. In special situations, a diver's attention must focus entirely on his work. He cannot be distracted by impending shark attack. These daring individuals sometimes rely on a personal form of protection called a shark suit, worn here by Marty Snyderman. This special suit, which is constructed of thousands of tiny interlinked stainless steel rings, forms an effective barrier between the diver and the shark, much like chain mail protected medieval knights. It allows divers to work outside the confines of a shark cage with complete freedom and confidence. This suit also reduces the need for a safety diver. And with only one diver in the water, the sharks are less wary and can be approached even more closely. Bimini in the Bahamas is an idyllic setting. Azure blue waters within the shallow lagoons offer an ideal habitat for sharks. Here, Dr. Gruber has found the perfect setting to conduct his experiments.
In 1990, I established a full-time permanent field station on South Bimini in the Bahamas for the specific purpose of studying sharks.
Currently, all the work being done at the facility is field work, where scientists study the sharks in the shallow lagoon. Bimini Lagoon is home to a wide variety of species of sharks, including nurse, tiger, and lemon sharks. Dr. Gruber has a special permit from the Bahamian government to catch his subjects on long lines for research purposes. Although many different types of sharks can be found, Dr. Gruber concentrates on certain species.
But mainly Finally, the lemon shark, my subject species, is there in all phases of its life cycle. They're born at Bimini Lagoon. And so we have three main projects dealing with the ecology and life cycle of the lemon shark.
There are many things sharks can teach us, not only about biology, ecology, evolution. There are profound medical facts that could possibly impact on each of us. For instance, researchers are studying the quick healing mechanisms of sharks and have found ways to use their cartilage to form artificial skin. But even more important is the fact that sharks are highly resistant to cancer. And if scientists can unravel this mystery, perhaps one day it may lead to a cure for cancer. These are just a few of the ways that research about sharks may play a very important role in our future. Aboard his research vessel Discovery, Dr. Donald Nelson is experimenting with an audio system to attract sharks.
This is the low-frequency speaker or transducer that we use to project the shark-attracting sounds into the water. Now let's lower that down now, Joe, fairly slowly so it can compensate.
A small video camera is suspended directly above the transducer, allowing the research team to monitor the action around the speaker.
Okay, we need this little video camera because in this condition, namely in these colder California waters, you sometimes can't see the speaker from the surface.
The sounds being played might not be music to our ears, but they appear to be very appealing to sharks. Dr. Nelson is transmitting simulations of the sounds made by struggling, distressed, or excited fish in the process of feeding. These sounds might be thought of as a type of shark dinner bell. We are told there is a delicate balance between the volume of the sounds played and the effectiveness of the attraction. The higher the volume of the sound, the farther the sound will be heard. On the other hand, there is also the possibility that the animals will be frightened away if the sound is too loud to be interpreted as a struggling fish. An unfortunate side effect of commercial fishing is the incidental catch of undesired species. Scientists have proposed that with acoustic attraction, they can tune in certain fish, reducing fishing time and limiting impact on non-targeted species, like sea mammals. The pulsing sound of the transmitter echoes through the blue void, and within an hour, a mako shark swims excitedly into view. On deck, the dive team prepares the shark cage. Once deployed, the cage will offer refuge for the researchers. Although the sharks may be initially attracted by the acoustic vibrations, unless there is something else in the water to keep their attention, like chum, the sharks soon become disinterested and leave. What is actually being tested then is a two-step system. The acoustic attraction first brings the sharks into the area, then the scent of the bait holds their attention. Like a war drum, the amplified vibrations and the scent of fresh bait whip the hungry sharks into an excited state. Despite the snapping jaws, our crew enters the water to document this event without the protection of their stainless steel suits. The action is in open water and away from the shark cage. Tormented by the sound and smell, the sharks bite at random. To film the sharks, the crew must use everything at their disposal to fend them off. Although research in the open water is often dangerous, the potential benefits we can gather far outweigh the risks.
As scientific research and testing into new ways to prevent shark attacks continues, the fascination with sharks continues to grow. We'll take a look at some of the unique and bizarre ways people are becoming involved with sharks when Shark Week 94 continues on the Discovery Channel.
This portion of Discovery is brought to you in part by Acura.
Paying for quality can be a difficult decision at first. But over time, it gets a lot easier to live with. Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Hi, an eligible Snapple fan from Wisconsin writes, I take sudden glances at this girl while I drink bottles of Passion Supreme soda, but I can't find the nerve to talk to her. Can you please help? Kevin?
Hi, I'm Don. I don't know if you're seeing anyone right now, but perhaps soon I could get to be friends.
Dawn, grab him. Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth.
With Goodyear Certified Auto Service, the job's done one way. Right way! Get the best selection of Goodyear tires anywhere. Goodyear trained ASE Certified Technicians. And the savings you want.
Right now! Sale time is the right time at Goodyear. Buy one Monroe Shop and save 50% on the second. Save big on other Goodyear Auto Services, too.
You want it, you got it.
Right way, right here, right now.
With Goodyear Certified Auto Service.
There's a place near you where the mountain climbers never touch the ground, where the bodies are made of iron and the bikes of titanium alloy. It's Performance Bicycle Shop with over 6,000 square feet of high-tech cycling gear. But if you go, bring a stump-jumping spirit and your Visa card. Because at Performance, they take cycling to the extreme, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
How to speak Australian. Guppy. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
They're back, and they've got their eye on you. Captured for a limited time in two of the most riveting shark films ever made. In-your-face shark action as only the Discovery Channel can deliver in this limited collector's set. Explore terrifying and sometimes deadly shark attacks on man in the Shark Attack Files. Are sharks truly man-eaters? Find out in blood-curdling accounts from those who escape the jaws of death and travel to dangerous depths with scientists who risk attack while seeking out and studying sharks. Sharkbait will bring you the real story of sharks, not mindless killers, but highly intelligent super predators. Call now and receive as a special bonus gift the official Discovery Channel Shark Week t-shirt. Hurry while supplies last. To order this thought-provoking 2-volume shark collection for only $39.95, call 1-800-762-0500 with your credit card ready. Order now and the t-shirt is free.
For those really bitten by the shark bug, there are always shops like Bongo's in Newport Beach, California. At these stores, shark enthusiasts can browse through a wide assortment of shark memorabilia. And while a modest memento of shark fascination will satisfy the majority of us, some people carry this interest to the extreme. Dr. Gordon Hubble, a retired veterinarian, has amassed possibly the world's largest collection of shark teeth. His personal exhibit contains more than 100,000 specimens. Dr. Hubble specializes in fossilized teeth of the Carcharodon megalodon, an extinct species of shark that vanished about 2 million years ago. This tooth measures over 7 inches down one side. Compared to the jaws of this 19-foot great white shark, the fossil tooth of Carcharodon megalodon indicates that this prehistoric shark was possibly 3 to 4 times the size of the largest great white shark in today's waters. Dr. Hubble makes at least one major expedition each year. An area in the Midwest which was submerged some 200 million years ago produced a priceless discovery.
This set of 9 fossilized shark teeth was found up in Illinois in the coal. It's from a shark that lived 240 million years ago, known only by its scientific name of Adestus henrikii.
While Dr. Hubble uncovers relics of the past, Vic Hasbrook is fishing for today's sharks. But he is also active in attempts to ensure their survival for tomorrow. Vic is a die-hard Mako fisherman, so much so that he has been dubbed the Shark Man. But Vic is not your typical fisherman. Through his actions, he is trying to preserve a species for our future generations.
Came out here doing some mackerel and bonita fishing off the island, and we caught a Mako on one of the bonitas that we hooked up. So that got me started out here, and I thought, wow, you know, small boat, you can come out here and catch sharks all day long. And so I started concentrating on shark fishing and been doing nothing but shark fishing since I've been in California.
As late as 5 years ago, sport fishermen were still considering sharks as something you could just kill and it wouldn't make any difference.
But as the word got out that sharks were potentially in danger, sport fishermen, for the most part, rallied behind it. And almost everybody I know nowadays as a sport fisherman is releasing most of their catch.
Vic's quest today will augment the catch and release fishing philosophy by tagging the sharks prior to release. But in order to tag a shark, you must first catch one. Once they reach the fishing grounds, a chum bucket is tethered alongside the boat. The chum drifts with the ocean currents, creating an odor slick. Small sharks soon appear, followed by larger ones. Bait is released into the water. Balloons are attached so that the fishermen know exactly when the strike occurs. A large blue shark takes the bait and is hooked. This is an excellent opportunity to tag the shark. Tagging is a means of gathering valuable information about the shark, where the shark travels, how fast it grows. This information is critical to regulating fishing industries effectively. Once tagged, the shark is released, tired but otherwise unharmed. The hook dissolves in a matter of weeks. SeaWorld has tapped directly into our primordial fear to serve the public with their latest shark attractions in Orlando and San Diego. Here, the public can ride inside an exhibit while surrounded by sharks. The feeling can only be described as awesome. These are extremely popular attractions at SeaWorld. Both 600,000-gallon exhibits contain more than 40 sharks, each animal requiring meticulous care and feeding.
We feed the sharks twice a week. On Tuesdays, we give them a vitamin feed. The vitamins are especially made for sharks and other elasmobranchs like skates and rays. From the blood samples that we do, they've determined, certain ingredients that are lacking in the blood chemistries of captive sharks versus wild sharks, things like potassium iodide and vitamin B12, things like that. So we've had these vitamins specially made up just for SeaWorld, and we'll give each shark a fish with a vitamin in it on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, we load them up with pretty much whatever they want, mackerel or blue runner, whatever, jack, whatever we have that week. We try not to overfeed them. In fact, some sharks we put on diets on occasion because they don't get as much exercise as they would out in the wild, so it's something that you kind of have to watch.
At SeaWorld, the very latest in laboratory, medical, and computer technology is being applied to raise a new generation of sharks, which spend some of their early days in the hands of man.
We have a breeding population here. It gives us a very good opportunity to actually study the different phases of development, the gestation times, and the first year growth rates of a lot of these animals that really is very little is known of them out in the wild.
The gestation period and manner of birth varies widely between species. The swell shark's gestation is about 9 months, while the horn shark's is around 8 months. Most species, like the bonnethead shark, give live birth. Terrors of the Deep in Orlando and the related shark encounter in San Diego combine to form the world's largest shark exhibit. Visitors glide through the tank into the sea while being surrounded by the very creatures that live there. Bull sharks, lemon sharks, brown sharks, nurse sharks, even the bizarre sawfish. SeaWorld exhibits are specially designed to give visitors a feeling of walking across the ocean floor. They are complete with coral reefs and their incredible inhabitants. For some people, their insatiable curiosity is only satisfied by a face-to-face encounter with sharks in an open ocean environment. In Tahiti, there is a local activity known as shark wrangling, performed by Tahitians adept at positioning their canoes over the reefs and roping the sharks. Viewers then get an on-the-spot glimpse of local reef sharks from boats which serve as floating grandstands to this aquatic rodeo. Later, the sharks are returned to the sea. For those wanting still a closer encounter, there is always a visit to a shark feeding station. Here, snorkelers watch as experienced guides lure the sharks in for a close-up view of feeding behavior. Bait in the water excites the sharks almost to a point of a feeding frenzy. Amidst a flurry of snapping jaws, snorkelers cling to the only thing separating them from the sharks, a floating rope that seems like flimsy protection when exposed to such a savage environment. But perhaps the ultimate experience for the certified diver is to dive Shark Reef at Stella Maris in the Bahamas. These are not sharks held captive in an aquarium, and there are no walls protecting the divers.
It is a very easy dive. It's only about a half an hour traveling distance from the marina. We've moved it into a comfortable but away from shore location in a depth of 30 feet.
And on cue, when the anchor drops, these animals congregate in numbers of more than a dozen. They are mostly Caribbean reef sharks, sometimes interspersed with an occasional bull shark, a black-tip shark. These animals are not hand-fed, but are offered a bucket with pre-caught fish. They devour it, then cruise around, providing perfect filming and photo opportunities. In no other way have they been changed in their natural behavior.
It is a perfectly safe dive, even though caution, of course, is part of it. We always fully explain it, fully supervise it, and will not let anyone change the pattern. We've done it for, I believe, more than 20 years, and presumably will continue to do it as long as Stella Maris is there and diving is part of its main attractions.
After the success at Stella Maris, the concept of a shark dive gained great popularity within the diving community. Other resorts began to offer this thrilling adventure, like Shark Junction at Unexo in Freeport, Grand Bahamas. Unlike Stella Maris, the sharks are hand-fed by qualified dive masters who wear steel gloves for safety. Sharks here appear well-behaved, almost courteous, as dive masters hand out food scraps before the wide-eyed divers. Rewarding experiences like these show that man can exist in harmony in the shark's world, and that we don't need to live in fear of these silent savages.
As our understanding of sharks grows, scientists are learning how better to protect and utilize these valuable resources. But have we learned our lesson from history, or will we continue to threaten these species? We'll find out when we return to Shark Week 94 on the Discovery Channel.
Ooh-wee, that's a hot one. That's a one can.
That's definitely a one can.
This one's a killer.
Oh, man, that's hot. That's a two-can.
That's a definite two-can.
My, that's a hot dish. That's a 2-liter bottle.
That's a full 2-liter bottle.
Look like somebody ordered a special.
This is $20,000. This is also $20,000. You'd take care of this, wouldn't you? You should take care of your car just as carefully, which is why you should bring your car to Jiffy Lube and ask for Pennzoil. Your car is worth thousands of dollars. Give it the quality of Pennzoil and the experience of Jiffy Lube.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
Shark Week 94 will continue in a moment on the Discovery Channel.
Bugsy Siegel, Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, Sam Giancana, the Movers and Muscle, the men who shaped one of the richest, most powerful organizations ever. From bootleg whiskey to Vegas money, from the cocaine trade to the labor unions, step into the inner circle and witness the workings of Crime, Inc. Next, only on the Discovery Channel.
Most medical problems can be prevented and many corrected by regular chiropractic care. After any kind of an accident, you need chiropractic care. The kind of care you receive at the Minervino Chiropractic Center. We treat people, not symptoms.
After my accident, I was feeling horrible. I'm glad I came here.
Without back pain, I'm back to running at full speed. I got hurt seriously at work, and now I'm getting back on the job.
When would now be a good time for a free consultation and spinal screening?
There are many places to buy a computer. At Shareware Depot, we provide you with much more than just a computer. We have the expertise when it comes to service, training, and customized programming. And when you upgrade, Shareware Depot accepts your old system as trade-in towards your new computer. It's very simple. You might buy it cheaper, but you can't buy it better. Shareware Depot, in the midpoint.
We now return to Shark Week on the Discovery Channel.
Basking shark fisheries lasted the equivalent of 3 years. We went out, we started fishing, and some days we'd see one, some days we wouldn't see any. And then some days they were up all over the place. And 3 a day is all you can land. There's when you harpoon one, you make sure there's nothing around your foot, though. When he takes off, he doesn't stop till he hits the bottom, and that line is smoking.
This is yet another example of boom and bust fishing. After disappearing for almost 40 years, these mysterious giants are gradually making a comeback with help from individuals like wetsuit designer Jack O'Neill.
We really don't know that much about the basking shark. They almost became extinct. And today it's great to see them making a comeback. But they are out there when they're feeding on plankton and such, they're out there like sitting ducks.
Today, Jack is working with groups like the Pelagic Shark Research Foundation, an organization dedicated to the survival of this and other shark species. Working from small boats, the sharks are tagged in order to track their migrations and get accurate counts of the number of sharks in a given area. The researchers have spotted a large group of sharks finning on the surface, and our camera crew is there to catch the action. The sharks must be approached with caution, not because they might attack, but these gentle giants avoid contact with humans. Although the gaping mouth feeding style looks intimidating, it allows these sharks to filter nearly 2,000 tons of water per hour. Huge gill slits containing comb-like devices filter small planktonic organisms as the sharks bask about the surface waters, hence their name, basking shark. Scientists think courtship could play a role when the sharks are basking. and gestation periods are thought to be as much as 3.5 years. Newborn basking sharks are about as large as a full-grown human. Adults can attain a length approaching 30 feet. We know little about these reclusive creatures, but it's possible that when food supplies diminish, the sharks return to the edge of the continental shelf and lie dormant until the next plankton bloom. An amazing theory speculates that during this period, they shed their gill rakers to be replaced by new ones when the feeding cycle returns. Although the days of harvesting the basking shark for its liver are behind us, its future is still not guaranteed. The Pelagic Shark Research Foundation, in conjunction with Jack O'Neill, are trying hard to get permanent protection by placing basking sharks on the endangered species list. Researchers will be tracking them with special radio monitors to learn more about these bizarre and elusive creatures. Todos Santos, near the tip of Baja California, Mexican fishermen are returning to the village after a day at sea. Their boats carrying the catch of the day. Here, big fish are hard to find, so the fishermen have turned to fishing for mako sharks. The meat is sold to restaurants in La Paz and Cabo San Lucas. The shark fins, on the other hand, are set aside. They will be exported to Asia, where their value even exceeds that of lobster. In specialty stores like this one that cater to the demand for shark fins, the asking price for rare varieties can exceed $500 per pound. As the shark populations get smaller and the demand increases, the price continues to climb.
In other words, to catch a shark that weighs 100 pounds or so, cut off just a few of the fins, put the entire carcass away, and just save the fin for a particular delicacy called shark fin soup. That does not really fit with most people's idea of a way to conserve resources and maximally utilize them.
If we don't learn from our mistakes of the past, what lies in store for our discoveries of the future?
As an example of what we really don't know about sharks is the incredible capture of this megamouth shark, the first one which was caught in 1976. An animal this enormous, 16 feet long, not to be known to science for that long is really amazing. It attests to how concealing the ocean environment really is. Since then, of course, the megamouth has only been known from 6 specimens. The one we tracked about 2 years ago now in California was the 6th specimen, and the only one to be studied in the living state. And since then, not a single one that we know of has been captured.
The megamouth shark is one of 3 species that are primarily plankton feeders, the other 2 being the whale shark and the basking shark, which have been known for many years. But the megamouth is somewhat different. Anatomical studies of their jaw mechanisms have shown that the basking shark appears to be more of a ram feeder, opening its gigantic mouth and swimming through the water like a huge plankton net. The megamouth appears to be more of a gulper, somewhat like the large baleen whales. Researchers take this opportunity to gather field measurements and other vital data. The megamouth is tagged with a sophisticated sonic device that will allow Dr. Nelson's crew to track the shark. Later, by monitoring the sonic transmitter, we are to learn that the megamouth displays a specific and deliberate swimming pattern. As dawn approaches, it began a descent to a depth of about 500 feet, where it remained during the daylight hours. At dusk, the shark began a deliberate ascent into shallower surface water of 50 to 100 feet. Scientists surmise that the megamouth is tracking plankton, which continually make this day and night vertical movement. Now, a diver gently removes the tether and the shark transmitter aboard drifts down into the abyss, free once more to swim darkened waters and gulp its meal of plankton from the ocean's deep scattering layer.
Formidable predators, sharks lead us to question whether we can continue to coexist with them in harmony. As incidents of shark attacks rise, the race for a solution grows ever more urgent. Tomorrow night on Shark Week 94, we'll see how shark doctors are meeting the challenge with a revolutionary new shark repellent. For the Discovery Channel, I'm Peter Benchley. Good night.
This portion of Discovery is brought to you in part by Jiffy Lube.
Do you want your car done right?
If you want your car done right, bring it to Jiffy Lube and ask for Pennzoil. This year, millions of people will rely on the quality of Pennzoil and the confidence of the Jiffy Lube pledge of customer satisfaction.
Everybody says they'll do the job right, but at Jiffy Lube, we guarantee it.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
If it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it isn't.
Hiya, we got a letter from Melissa from Clinton, Illinois. Do you give in-home demonstrations of your product line? I'll be right over. You asked for a home demonstration, and I am here to give it to you. And this is to you. Guava Mania, mango-flavored iced tea. Voila! Snapple Fruit Punch Ice Pops, made from the best stuff on earth.
Bugsy Siegel, Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, Sam Giancana, the Movers and Muscle, the men who shaped one of the richest, most powerful organizations ever. From bootleg whiskey to Vegas money, from the cocaine trade to the labor unions. Step into the inner circle and witness the workings of